Are you part of an oppressed people that have had to deal with years of slavery? Have you finally unburdened yourselves from those shackles, but still have to deal with racism, institutional racism, and discrimination? If so, then you might be an Argonian. I'm talking about Argonians, guys. Yeah, you might be an Argonian, and Argonians are the best race to play in Elder Scrolls Online. Now, am I saying that about all the races in ESO? Yeah, sure, definitely. I kind of am, yeah. But I really mean it about Argonians. So why would you want to play an Argonian? Well, first off, their naming scheme is incredibly fun. I have Speaks and Whispers here, and if you walk around Tamriel, you're bound to find plenty of really fun names, where some aspect of what someone does is actually their name. The other reason to play Argonians is they look really fun. I mean, just look at them. You get all kinds of really cool hairstyles. You've got a tail, scales, the whole thing. And not to mention, you have an increased swimming speed by 50%. Really fun. But no, in all seriousness, Argonians do make some of the best healers in the game. They have the Life Mender passive, which increases their healing done by 6%. The increased Resto Staff skill experience gain is not really a big deal because eventually you'll get to max and then that won't matter anymore. They also have Argonian Resistance, which increases your max health by 1,000 and your disease and poison resistance by 2310. And then of course Resourceful, which increases your max magicka and stamina by 1,000. And when you drink a potion, you restore 3,125 magicka, stamina, and health. Now, the latter buff there, oftentimes, it's like, oh, is there some way I could really use this with reduced potion cooldowns and other things? There are some fun things you can do with that. I actually took an Argonian Nightblade tank into veteran hard mode Dreadsail Reef and used it on the first boss. It worked okay. I'm not saying it's the best thing in the world, but it was fun and it was different and it totally works. The main thing to remember is that in ESO for DPS, you're looking at about a 5% maximum DPS loss if you choose like a class that has all stamina increasing abilities and you make it a magicka tune, and vice versa. So while that can be important if you're trying to do some of the hardest, sweatiest content in the game because every little bit of DPS matters in that situation, in general, for the average player, it's not going to matter. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Also, with the increased healing, that 6% increased healing, it does make Argonians one of the best raw healers in the game. And it's one of the reasons that almost all of my healers are Argonians, because I am someone who likes to play kind of optimally in most situations. Even though, again, I have an Argonian Nightblade tank like I told you about and various other ones. But generally, since I do play optimally and I want to be able to play with an Argonian more often than I otherwise would be able to, I make almost all of my healers Argonian. It can also be helpful, too, as a healer. A lot of times you're running low on stamina, and so by drinking a potion and getting back stamina as well as magicka, it can be really nice and make it just not a ton easier, but it does make it a little bit easier when you're in certain situations. The other thing is the swim speed. If you're someone who runs around overland a lot, likes to pick flowers and do that kind of stuff, the swim speed actually can be nice in certain situations, because when you're running around gathering stuff, sometimes you've got to swim, and it's so slow. So in Argonian, it can actually make it nice. But anyways, that's it about Argonians. I will be doing a video going through all the races in Tamriel like this. It'll be over the course of a long time, but I just want to kind of highlight them and just mention and really get the word out that you can play any race you want. While there are optimal ones and reasons why you might want to play them, you should play the race that is most fun for you, in my opinion, in 99.99% of content. Don't worry about us sweaty endgamers. And even with the sweaty endgamers, I have acquaintance on Xbox and he actually goes by the Khajiit Medic, and all he does is play Khajiits, And then I've got another friend, Mother Clucker, here. He's actually a channel member, and he loves Argonians and wanted to see more Argonian content. So I was like, you know what? Let's start talking about some races, and we'll start with Argonians. So you can play with whatever you want, and it's not going to be that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. So anyways, that's it for today. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.